Welcome to this week's energy forecast. I'm Rachel Thompson Phillips, the creator of the BU Oracle cards and also the online program called Sacred Psychic, where I teach people how to tune into their intuition and develop their psychic skills. This week's energy forecast is for February the 11th through to February the 17th. The overall theme for this week is about the spiritual ascension is in full progress. Now, for anyone who may not understand what the spiritual ascension process is, it's about understanding that as humans we are designed to learn, grow and develop, which means that we need to continually evolve. Spiritual ascension is about up-leveling. You may start finding that information starts dropping into your consciousness. A lot of people may have heard the ascension process being described as a downloading program where you feel like all this information and everything is being downloaded into you in a cellular level, but you may not be able to access all of that information just yet. So regardless what the label is that you give to it, you are in a process of evolving and growing right now. So the greatest term that I like to use this is like the metamorphosis of a butterfly. Every single phase has its reason for it, and each part of that each part along that process is exactly where you need to be at that time. Yet sometimes as humans we really can resist the transformation that's occurring. We can get caught up in the feels that we get, and each person will get a different feeling. They may be experiencing this ascension process so very, very differently. But you just need to be able to understand that whatever is going on for you is the right thing for you to help you evolve to the next level you. And that everything is happening and occurring for your highest potential. Now the cards this week really do help give us guidance on how to be able to work through this transformative process that we are going through right now. Monday to Tuesday, the energy is of feathers. Wednesday through till Friday is the card of femininity. Saturday and Sunday's energy is the card of change. Now let's begin. The feathers card. The feathers card has come through because whenever we go through these transformative periods where we are ascending and growing and receiving new intuitive guidance, what occurs is that our loved ones are always there supporting and nurturing us. They're people that have passed over that are still part of your journey. They understand the struggles you're going through. They hear and feel everything that's going on in your world, and they really want to reach out and let you know that you don't need to do this journey alone. They are there in every way, shape or form. You may notice that all of a sudden you may start hearing songs that remind you of a particular loved one. Memories may be dropping into your consciousness to be reminded of a loved one, or you may even be finding multiple feathers along your journey each day as it goes along. Each one of these are gorgeous gifts that are coming through from your loved ones to just remind you that you have this amazing support network that is always tuning in and listening to everything that is going on. And even though they may not be here in a physical format, they're still with you along this journey, and they're going to help provide you and shower you with so much love. So remember, our loved ones and spirit guides love to be able to help us whenever we're going through this transformative period. So let them know how they can best support you. Ask for more guidance. Ask for more love. Whatever it is that you are needing right at this point, ask them and know that whatever it is that you're seeking will be returned to you through the support of your loved ones. The energy coming through midweek is around femininity. And if you've listened to my video on the changeover of the Chinese New Year, the femininity was a very big role that came through with the Year of the Pig. Femininity is understanding that we have different ways and different energies in which we can connect into to help us through any given situation. Sometimes it's best to be able to execute and utilize the masculine energy, but right now is the time to be able to allow that more softer approach to going through this spiritual ascension process so that you can be more kinder to yourself. The femininity is also about connecting in with Mother Earth, so a way in which to be able to stay connected and tapped into that Earth and Yin energy, and that gorgeous wisdom that Mother Earth provides us by helping us to learn to stay grounded as we go through this process. Sometimes we have so many things going on in our world that we can tend to step outside of ourselves and want to go off into a fairyland, or go off daydreaming, and that's all very good, but if we're spending too much time out there, we're not being able to access the information that is coming through for us to help us at this very given moment. So the femininity is about learning to understand to be softer, gentler and kinder with yourself, and also about being in that gorgeous flow. Femininity for me, as you may have heard me say before, is like the expression of water. Water has the ability to continue to flow regardless what obstacle presents itself. It can move around it can move around rocks and trees and anything else that comes into its pathway. It has that ability to just flow around it and keep going along its journey. That's exactly what the femininity flow is asking you to do this coming Monday, midweek, is that even though there is so much internal change going on within you, and you may be feeling a great deal of uncertainty within your own self, if you just trust the process and allow yourself to stay in flow and be gentler and kinder and more nurturing with yourself, you're going to get through this process. It's almost like trying to force and push yourself out of that cocoon phase when you're not quite ready for it. Or when we're resisting it, we start to feel those symptoms. They really do become a lot more heightened, and we start to then focus on the symptoms and forget to remember that the most gorgeous thing that is occurring for you is this next level you. And in order to get to the next level you are going to be able to bring a different version of yourself. So if you keep thinking that you can keep doing the same things over and over and get a different response, that's not going to work for you. This may be this gorgeous time where we are being given intuitive guidance on how best to work through this transformative process. So tune into that. Your intuition is always going to guide you through every single step of the way. You may start noticing that you may be receiving guidance to take a bath, go for a walk, sit and meditate, or just be quiet, or it may even just be giving you guidance in every different shape and way. Trust that, because it is your soul that is coming through that is also there to support and nurture you through this process. But sometimes that human part of ourselves goes, I don't understand what's going on, and especially if we feel really uncertain with ourselves, we want to grasp onto anything that is certain and rational and logic. And sometimes this spiritual ascension doesn't have a lot of rational or logic to it. But deep within your soul will guide you as to what it is that you can do to help yourself through this process. Intuition is also going to be incredibly heightened this year, again mentioning from the video that I did of the Chinese New Year. Femininity and heightened intuition is going to be paramount this year. So even if you've never trusted your intuition before, or you feel challenged by doing it and feel a little bit scared or nervous when doing it, remember, the more you use it, the stronger it gets. So this is an incredibly paramount time to be able to tune into that intuitive aspect within yourself and follow the guidance that's coming through. The weekend energy is about change. It is about understanding that all of this change is occurring on a cellular level. So what happens is, when we go through the ascension process, we go through the ascension process that is within us on a deep cellular level. We can feel a little bit as if we don't feel comfortable in our own skin. Some people may even experience that, like an anxiousness within them. Every person is going to experience it differently, so please understand that whatever is occurring for you, it is the right thing for you. Now, when we go through this, the internal change needs to happen first. Then when that internal change has happened, Then it needs to move through into our human part of ourselves, so our physical structure. And this is when we can start to notice when as we make the shift from internal into our physical structure through that ascension process, we can start to notice that we start experiencing a lot more fatigue. Our physical body takes a lot longer for this process to occur. So be patient with yourself. Nourish your body. Remember, food is fuel for your body. So make sure that you're eating really great foods, healthy foods. You may even find that you need to, or have more of a desire to eat lighter foods like soups. Even though it's really hot, you may feel the desire to eat soups because you can jam pack it full of so many vegetables. You may be experiencing that you have these short bursts of energy. So do what you need to do when you get those short bursts. And remember to relax in those times when you're feeling fatigued. Everything is occurring for a very good reason for you at this time. When we understand that all of these things are helping us be able to go to that next level you, it means that so much more has been revealed to you about who you are at a soul core level. You may start noticing that things that once didn't bother you all of a sudden do. You may be noticing a real awakening to a certain area of your life that you may have put on the back burner because you thought, oh, I'll get to that soon. Now all of a sudden becomes really important. You may be noticing yourself pulling away from certain people. Each and every one of these is helping you move to that, I don't like to say the best version of you, because I think that changes and alters as we go along. But I do believe that we are always continually up leveling to this gorgeous new variation of ourselves. And as we discover what those new variations of ourselves are, we start to have older parts of ourselves start to fall away. We come through this ascension process that allows us to transform on so many levels, that helps us step into that beingness of confidence, where we have the ability to remove the mask which we have once hidden behind, and now step into a space where we don't need to scream it from the rooftop, because that confidence is an inner thing that occurs within us, and we start to feel this new recognition of getting stronger within our own self. This is the energy that is going to start coming through on the weekend, encouraging you to reconnect to these parts of ourself that may have been dormant for a little while, and really be reintroduced to yourself. This year is very much going to be guiding you to establish a different relationship with your own self. You're going to learn so much more about yourself throughout this year. And although it may seem a little bit daunting, just embrace it, because every time you get reintroduced to a new variation of yourself, this is this gorgeous moment where we start to develop more trust with ourselves, more confidence, and each one of those in itself increases our level of self-worth. And that all begins with what we do with the inner work. And that's the guidance that we're coming through. So remember, there are so many energetic shifts. We've just had the year of the pig shift through. Although it's still a couple of weeks away, we have Mercury retrograde coming through on March 5th and 6th, but some people can start feeling that energetic shift occurring already. Even though it's still only early and it's only February, not long, 5 weeks ago we had Christmas. Now understand that each person is going to go through this ascension transformative process at different levels, and this is why it's so important to be understanding that. For me, I always feel like there's 3 different waves. First is the ones that are maybe a little bit more evolved. They start noticing some of these symptoms occurring a little bit earlier, and as they start moving through, then the next mid-tier level starts moving through, and then they start going through the process, and then people that may not be as aware come through afterwards. Now, knowing that there's these different levels means that there's going to be lots of people in your circle that are going through this process at different times. Not only to be kinder to your own self, But if you start noticing something that really works for you, and then someone in your circle starts to say, hey, I'm experiencing all of these things, the greatest gift that you can do is share that wisdom that has helped you through this process. Remember, we are here to learn first, and then once we've learned something, it is really important to be able to share and teach other people what has helped you through that process, so that together we are all collectively going through the same experiencing, even though it may be at different rates. And I think it's so important that each individual understands that they don't need to do this journey alone. We can all come together to support and nurture and provide assistance to every single person as they go through this process. So I wish you all an incredibly wonderful week. Remind yourself to be patient, be kind, and be gentle with yourself. And if this resonates with anyone, please feel free to share it. Otherwise, have a wonderful week. Much love to you all. Take care, and I'll see you again next week.